Well, Micky, perhaps we could just start on the team news and the injuries, because you had a couple of people out last week.
Yeah, we've still got the same injuries and kind of physical fitness things to try and go over, but we're getting there, and every week it goes past we're getting closer, but we still have modern technology, phones and things on watches and all sorts now. No, we still have the same ones, but we're getting closer.
Specifically, Jordan Turnbull, Ben Hockenhull, how long are they likely to be?
I don't know. Kieran as well. We don't know. And Tom Davis. It's. I don't like putting time on things, but certainly they won't be available for the weekend.
Same with Mbongo too?
Yeah, he's not trained either, so he got a kick in the ankle last week, and it's taken a wee bit slower than we thought to get better. He was out in the grass today, but not with us, just with the physios.
So the gauntlet's laid down essentially to a similar group of players you had last week. What have you said to them during the week?
Well, like I said after the game, I only speak and say what I think that we've got to get better in order to become better players and a better team. That's all I do, and it's obviously always my opinion, but using my experience I've seen that. So after the game we spoke about fighting harder to be the type of player that you've been brought to Tranmere to do, and then the type of team that we want to be. So fighting harder to play the type of football that we want to, and I didn't think that we did enough of that. Possibly weren't brave enough at times, so we're just encouraging them to go on the ball and don't be worried about making mistakes. Then on the other side of that is the physical contacts, the winning the headers, the knockdowns, the pressing, the tackling. It's a big part of the game. So it's about encouraging them and telling them that that's the type of team that we want to be. We want to be good at the type of things. So we've been just speaking about that and working on that from the weekend. And to be fair, in training, as we were last Thursday, we were pretty sure that we were going to get the type of performance that we got in training on Saturday. And again, this week they've trained really well, been very good at the things that we think that we're capable of and good at. And now it's just about putting it all together for another big game at the weekend. Because
when you've got the sheer amount of new faces, how do you build that sense of team, not necessarily in terms of tactics, but a sense of team, I suppose, and togetherness?
Just time together, making sure that we stick to the principles of how we believe that we should be playing, being strong when we don't see them, encouraging them to be brave and go and get on the ball and play, giving them an objective to play to, saying that to go and support that objective when we get the ball to certain areas of the pitch, go and do that, go and do that, set up the safety here, all of that, every day, everything that we do, every game that we play in training, every game that we play on a Saturday and a Tuesday night, just being on top of it all the time and keeping the standards high and just encouraging them to be good at the things that we think are going to make us a good team. So it's just that all the time. We work hard at it and just try and bring it all together at the same time.
One bright point last week was Kane Hemmings, and he was made captain. What were your thoughts behind that, and also having a captain as a striker, which isn't always the case?
Well, we just went for the on the day the experience, and it's always difficult to be captain if you don't think you're putting in performances yourself. I think that's what players would always say to you. They would feel that if they weren't performing to what they were getting asked to do, they find it difficult to tell everybody else what to do. So you try and think about somebody who put in some kind of consistent performance for you and can go on with doing that, plus be tough on the other players to hit the standards in the way that we play on the pitch to everybody else. And Kane just fitted the bill on Saturday, and I think he did it well.
Is Kane likely to be the captain for the rest of the season?
We'll see how it goes. I want to do it a wee bit differently this year. I'll see how we go with it. I think that we've got to look at it and see if we can, who we think is in the best position placed possible to lead us on that day, or over this period of time, or should we just keep it the way it is. So we'll see how it goes. It's not something that that I look at massively. I've got to be honest and say that because you wear an armband that you should lead. I think they all should be accountable for their performances and the way that they turn up and want to compete and then help their mate next to them. So I don't think you have to have an armband on to do that. So we'll see how that one goes, but it's something that we'll watch as the weeks go by.
Only Tranmere won more games at home than Mansfield last season. How different a proposition are they going to be from Stevenage?
I think it'll be a different game, and that's all due respect to Stevenage, because they brought their own way of playing to Tranmere, and at times we struggled with that. I think it'll be a different game. I think it will be a lot more ball and floor stuff, a lot more pure football stuff in terms of playing it from the back and passing, and a little less direct than what it was at the weekend. Set plays won't be quite as relied on as a way to get into your 18-yard box and long throws as it was on Saturday. And I'm saying this with due respect, this is just how I think the game will go. I think Mansfield will try and work overloads and passes from the back and try and get up the pitch that way, being a wee bit less direct, if you like, than Saturday. So I expect it to be different. So the asks will be different for us. We know that. We've had them watched. We've them watched on Saturday. We've watched them through pre-season. So we know. And in the history of playing against Nigel Clough's teams, you kind of know that it's going to be that type of game.
And how much scope is there still to do a bit of business in the transfer market? I see no one's wearing a number 9 just yet.
Not really a lot, if we're honest. Again, I'm always talking to the supporters here. Never whinging, just telling you how I think and what my opinions are and way things are as much as I possibly can. No, not a lot at the minute. We, as everybody knows, are a really well run football club, and we will cut our cloth accordingly and see what we can do with that. Obviously, everybody's seen that the number 9 at the minute is not occupied, and that's something that we never set out to try and do or leave a number like that. It's just nobody really wanted to be number 9. Trust me, they didn't want to be number 9. So it's worked out that way. But certainly, if you were asking me if things were unlimited and I had a well full of gold, we know that we maybe have to replace or at least create some competition in the front positions. And at the minute, with injuries and lack of fitness, we're a wee bit light at maybe centre-back areas. But we just got on, mate. We do with the best that we can with what we've got. You'll not hear me whinging about it. I'll just tell you what it is, what the situation is at the minute, and that's it. So we got on with that. We as I say, we've prepared really well today. I come off the training pitch as I do, asking myself the right question. Was I happy with the session? Was I happy with the way that we reacted to the things that I asked us to be better at from the weekend over the week? And I would have to say yes. But now, of course, and this is no me putting any pressure on anybody, it's up to the players now to go there and, like I said, be brave, go there and play the way that we want to play, understand where we want to try and get the ball every time that we've got it, where is it in the area pitch we're trying to do that, who's supposed to go and support that, who's setting up the safety just in case, and all of that, and we'll just try to bring it together. And Saturday gives us another opportunity to see where we're up to.